Alright, we're back to more Bastion. We're gonna do the
He
stockpile.
wolfs down too much too fast, and it all goes to his head. I've said a lot about the kid, but he ain't the only one wrapped up in all this. What's he thinking? Let me see if I got this straight. I only heard it once. Once there was a normal Ura girl, but she wasn't born in the Tassel terminals like the rest of her people. She was from Ceylania. Her folks were orphaned in the war, taken in and raised inside the city, on condition they would never return to the terminals. Ura refugees who came into the city had to stay for life. It was a way to reduce the risk of city secrets leaking out. The mama passed away from birthing complications, leaving the girl trapped inside that city with no one but her father. Her father was sharper than a brusher's pike, so he got a job working for the city's mancers. His daughter barely saw him. Her father told her nothing of her Ura heritage. He told her nothing of the mancers. It's for your own good, he said. She took to studying the arts, learned more through music than history books, gained a
Nice.
knack for strings and songs. At first, she tried to be like other girls, but her classmates spread word that her father was an Ura trader, selling out the city. man stood up for her, or so he led her to believe. He knew much of her heritage, and she grew fond of him.
So that didn't work out. There we go. Come on.
Her to take him to her family den to meet her father. Spoke of how he wanted to meet a man from the terminals. When the young man greeted her father in the Ura's native language, her father flew into a fit of rage and threw them out. The young man never told her that the Ura's native language is not to be used by foreigners. To do so is a terrible insult. It was then that she decided to escape. The two of them could flee the city together and go to the Tassel terminals. They would hide inside a garbage bin until it got ingested by a scumbag, then let him slosh on out of the city for disposal.
Build a wall. Take my hold, you build a wall. One day that wall build that city on Dig my hole, you dig the
Thanks.
Her plan almost succeeded, but the authorities were already there when that scumbag sidled up to the city walls.
dig my hole, you build a wall.
The young man had sent the authorities a tip. Told him her father was using her to sell secrets to the Tazzle terminals.
One day that wall is gonna fall. Gonna build that city on a hill. Gonna build that city on a hill. Someday those tears are gonna
She and her father were arrested for treason, but her father got a deal. Returned to work for the Mansers, and she'd go free.
and build it strong, 'cause we'll be there before too long. Gonna build that wall up to the sky.
Before they parted ways for the last time, her father whispered a desperate plea. Hurry home to the den and lock yourself in.
The sky. Someday your bird is gonna fly. Gonna build that wall until it's gone. Gonna build that wall until it's gone.
Cool. Oh, those things.
She did as she was told, and deep down underground inside that den, she found a journal written in her father's hand. The next day, the door to the den turned to ash. The girl came up for air, and she saw the calamity all around her. When the kid wakes up, his world's still in pieces, just the way he left it. The culture, a still life of old unwanted keepsakes. Finders keepers.
Cool. We should probably check our spirit.
If you're feeling low, count on the buttery flavor of our own Bastion bourbon. We spotted a pecker carrying a shard to Mount Zan. Can't rightly call Mount Zan a mountain anymore. There's no more mountains now. There's no place left for the beasts of the wild to go. The beasts of Mount Zan go all out.
This is silly.
We only found their little lair because they found themselves a little shard. The creatures of the wild, they've been building a bastion of their own. Best thing we can do for those beasts right now is put them down quick and clean. Besides, we have to take back what's ours. Even if the beasts of the wilds won't like it.
This one's not bad. I just don't want it.
What the city left behind, those beasts took for themselves. Look at it this way. It's either them or us. But if we win, they win too. Our bastion is everybody's game, not just ours. Unfortunately, there's no explaining that to a simple beast. Those beasts been hard at work fixing up the place. They've rounded up their survivors, just like we have. been searching for cores and shards, just like we have.
Got them all.
Maybe
Way
they
too
thought
much
about
damage.
turning
We got
back,
them all.
just like we have. We just really need their shard. Kid got it fair and square. That's the way. He's done what's best for him, don't you worry. Don't you worry. We'll all be better off once the Bastion is complete. The monument's getting better. Zolf sure did a number on it, though. The arsenal's complete, in case we need protection.
And we're not using this snare, but it's good to have. And I can actually get something new. We'll have black rye.
Black rye is like hot pineapple chowder on a cold day. Brings back memories. Suppose it's true a little song can put things in perspective. Fixed that thing right up, didn't we? Made these goings-on a little livelier. The conscience. We haven't lost everything, as long as we have that. Points just don't get any sharper than that. A sail hammer's only as strong as its spine. And that's a strong spine. A bow and a machete, every bit as effective as the fancier stuff. Just a couple shots.
But now we can do a
left.
lot of
Quarry's
dots.
gotta have one,
So
right?
get in, hit some things, get out, let it kind of bleed out. So that should be pretty fun to play. Oh, damn.
Imagine everything you'd need to build a city like Caelondia. It takes hard work and planning, and it also takes Bastion quarry. The Ura tunnels beneath the quarry must have softened the blow from the calamity. We bought the whole place from the Ura on the cheap. Same goes for its natives. Rattletails. Rattletails ain't the worst of it either, but more about that in a little bit. Why would the Ura put up with those pests? The quarry came with a lifetime supply of windbags. Windbags smaller than the naked eye can see are nested in those rocks. Not only are these rocks a source of life, we found that the oldest ones remember things. They're recording everything, all the time, taking it all in. No wonder all those beasts were drawn to the quarry. The rocks were calling them. Keeping the quarry free from pests turned out to be a problem. Rattletails kept tunneling in the snack windbags. Without those windbags, the quarry might not have its special qualities. Even Stink Eyes started taking root here. Now, why would the Ura sell off such a fascinating place? The Ura always were a superstitious lot. It might be the gods told them the quarry's bad news. In any case, it's fair to say the quarry was a godsend. Those rocks, all polished to a mirror sheen. The largest ones, you know as cores. The smaller ones, we call them shards. shard's got a fraction of a core's power, enough to fuel a voyage to the motherland.
Okay. No.
Well, now the quarry's all dried up. These rocks are much too young to be of use. Remember how I said rattletails ain't the worst thing in the quarry? That honor goes to a beast we took to Colin, Sir Lunky. Massive things stomped many of our boys. We just couldn't get rid of him. Stubborn old Lunky to leave the quarry alone. Then the kid hears a voice calling from down the hall. Are you all right? It says. It's him. I've come to warn you, he says. The Bastion is under siege. Let it fall. You should not go back.
Well,
Kid
no,
hears it, but he ain't about to be deterred.
we're going back.
If that's the way it is, he says, then I won't stop you. Because my countrymen will. Say what you will about Zolf, but he's a man of his word. His countrymen don't much care for pleasantries, though. Too bad for that. Zolf showed him the way here, and here they came to take revenge. They got inside the Bastion and shut the door. Kid's gotta go in through the back. I should have told him sooner about all this.
What was with that? What is with that scan line?
Unfortunately, they broke in, and they started digging their hole. Something wrong sprung out of those holes, and it's eating away at this place. We tried to stop them, but we needed help. Somehow, some way, he sends those who are packing. Problem is, it didn't matter. Zolf's plan worked. We find each other as the dust settles. Then I tell him why the Ura came. To get us back. For the Calamity. It was Caelandia's master plan. to wipe the Ura out. But part of that plan backfired, didn't it? If only Zulf knew the whole story. The shards can put this disease in remission, but there's only one cure. We need to finish what we started. The Mercy. The windbags ain't the only beast that drew a bad lot. The Gravers, the arm of justice, they seemed unstoppable. The city, its riches nothing but fragments now. It wasn't fixed, it was unbroken.
Ooh, something stringy.
Arrows like that can practically find their own way. Seems the gods recommended this place to all their friends. Now all we need is one last shard. The sanctuary. If we can build, we can rebuild. The Ura swooped down from the east. At least now we know the way.
Well.
One last shard. It's all we need to put this mess behind us. And mother, what a mess it is. A mess like that could have only been made by hand. Zulf said the calamity failed, and he's right. The Ura stand is living proof of that. The heart of the calamity was a simple idea. We never wanted to go to war again. We wanted to rule it out. We put a lot of folks against that problem. Scientists, soldiers, spies, even me. We sought solutions far beyond the city. We travel near as far as the kid's going right now.
I do so many dots now.
Most of our efforts didn't bear fruit. Then there was a breakthrough, but it didn't come from our people. It came from an Ura, a brilliant young scientist named Ven. then work for the Mancers, the sharpest knives in the city's drawer. With his help, the Mancers devised a way to seal the Ura tunnels shut in a flash. Just like that, every last Ura living in the Tassel terminals will be gone. This discovery was never to be used, they said, except as a last resort.
I might just switch to hammer and machete, honestly. Well, having the bouncing shot is nice.
But Van didn't like being manipulated. He had plans of his own. He sabotaged the Mancers' little science project, set it to blow up in their faces. Imagine how Van must have felt when they finally made him pull that trigger. We're lucky to be alive. But remember, the Bastion can fix everything. We just need that shard. Too bad the Ura ain't exactly been willing to collaborate on that front. For now, Kid had little choice but to pick up where the Calamity left off. First things first, though, there's someone we figured needed rescuing. Zia. The Ura fell back, no doubt planning the next move, but we knew ours already. Kid's ready to slice him up and pound him to bits if they get in his way. There's something we had to do before going after that last shard.
Zia detected.
Well, now it's personal, ain't it? It's personal for him, and it's personal for me. They never saw him coming. He gets his hands on the care package I sent him. It's a little something I've been fixing up in my spare time.
Oops.
The Ura found a way to keep the calamity from spreading through Sultan's Hollow. They got their own security and everything. Pretty fancy, even. Still, they ain't used to having visitors around. Break enough of those things and the calamity rocks slink back into the ground. They've got these conductors that are all what's keeping the place together. Those rocks are like tumors, the same kind the Ura planted in the Bastion. Well, the Ura must be in a panic right about now. Kid's done using the calamity's power for now, but the Ura ain't finished. They even sick their little rattletail pets on the kid. Those rodents are just a bump in the road.
Come on, dude. There we go.
Kids picking the whole place apart, piece by piece. By now, every Ura from here to the terminals must know he's in town. Most of the Ura's conductors are squared away in the middle of the hollow. The Ura ain't pulling their punches. Those calamity rocks must be eating that place apart from the inside. Keep hanging on to that barricade. After all, their homeland's not much farther. Maybe they know they've lost this. Lost to a kid. They underestimated us. Had us pegged all wrong.
Got it. Cool. Okay.
Yes, it caused the calamity, but here we are trying to fix it. Did the Ura really think we just turn around and walk away?
Then
Some of them are downright bewildered by what's happening.
Oh.
Suppose old Zolf should have got to know us better. Maybe I should have trusted him. Told him everything I knew. Zolf, the Ura, they have every reason to be angry. Beyond angry.
Gotcha.
But when this is all over, it'll all be water under the bridge.
Is something wrong as for the calamity cannon?
As the hour grows desperate, the Ura bring out their big guns. He sees the Tazzle terminals loom large on the horizon. There's nothing standing in his way no more. Way out there on the edge of the world, that's where he finally finds you. But it ain't like Prosper Bluff this time. Ain't nothing for the scout to sing about now. Zia, you weren't kidnapped. No, ma'am. You just had to see what happened to the Ura. To your own people. You had to see if everything Zolf wrote to you was true. They lost everything, didn't they? But they just keep on fighting like that's gonna bring it all back. The country, she's all to pieces now, but still looking good. Sometimes I want to ask him, why do any of this? But truth is, I don't want to know. I don't need to see what happened to the Ura. I'm trying to undo it, remember?
Reduce penalty to long.
To master the musket, you gotta get rid of the recoil. He's made a right comfortable bed for all those bullets. That ought to give those dueling pistols a little extra kick. That ought to make those fangs sink in nice and deep. To fix a brusher's pike, you just need a good length of knife barb. Gotta make sure the pointy end's fastened on real tight. That's the way to make every shot count. It's no longer a weapon, it's a precision instrument. At least it won't get cold around here with that thing around.
Go.
The inspiration, a forge can fashion anything. Nothing makes a gun so dangerous as a keen eye. That mortar's gonna leave a lasting impression.
Oh. Not that I really need it.
Once the kid gets that last shard from Zolf, it'll all be over.
As you enter this area, there's no turning back. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready.
I can't hear him at all anymore.
We'll probably just run
He's
this
too
video
far
long,
away.
honestly.
But he'll be all right. Just needs to get that shard from Zolf and come on home. The calamity hit the Tassel terminals hardest of all. No chance anything survived. You know why Zolf went back there. All his old friends and family were there. Zolf must be there all alone, just waiting.
Cool.
of us are waiting for a kill. Look around. There's not much left to do here at the Bastion, I'm afraid. So why not tell each other stories to pass the time, right? There's another reason I've been telling you all this.
Back here.
When the kid brings back that shard, the Bastion will be complete. This disease the Earth planted here will go away.
Cool.
Zealandia will be whole again. Everything will be back to normal. Problem is, we'll all be gone. Oh, we're not gonna die. It's more like all of this will just stop. Things will go back to the way they used to be. This whole place is a living record of the times before the calamity. You'd be your old self again. Think of all those times that didn't go your way. more to say.
Hey.
Who am I kidding? Look. There's something else. A confession. How come I know so much about the Bastion? You follow me?
Oops.
There's one problem with a place that sets things back to a bygone time. You can't test it. So you're probably wondering if the calamity happened already. What's to stop it from happening again after the Bastion does its thing? The answer is... I don't know.
Hmm.
You're wondering if there ain't some other way out of this mess. It's all right. I can tell. But why would you even want another way? Unless you wanted to stay here with us. Well, that's sweet and all, but I don't know if I can stick around. The weight of the calamity, it's on our shoulders. We can't just let it go. Bastion does have another function, strictly speaking.
Cool. I think this is the last little bit of the game. Pretty sure the battering ram is like the last stretch you get. Enable mass evacuation of Ceylondia's people.
You know Zolf and his countrymen won't be giving up that shard without a fight, don't you? Zolf and the Ura, all they want now is to see the Bastion fall. Zolf dedicated his life to lasting peace between the Ura and Ceylondia. city would try to wipe the earth out. Zolf ain't lost every shred of decency, though, has he? He tried to warn you about his plans. He tried to warn the kid. For Zolf, this ain't a personal matter.
Okay.
It ain't a simple matter of pride either. One thing's for sure. The Ura can't be happy that the kid followed Zolf all the way home.
Yeah, that would be a really bad thing to have done. Oh, hey. We're taking Solf.
I can see it now. The kid in one corner, and Zolf in the other. Ain't much of a fight. Don't you worry, though. Once the Bastion's restored, it'll all be alright. You ain't still thinking about that whole leaving the city thing, are you?
This is one of my favorite songs of all time.
I set my sail, fly, the wind will take me back to my home, sweet home. Lie on my back, clouds are making way for me. I'm coming
Just kind of stop.
home, sweet home. I see your star, you left it burning for me. Mother, I'm here.
Took him out.
Eyes open wide. Feel your
Kid's probably
heart
dealt with Zolf by now.
explode. I'm welcome home.
He reminds me of myself when I was his age. I ever tell you about those days? Hey, kid. Get up, kid. Come on, that ain't funny. I say get up. That's more like it. Now, set that shard into the monument there. Then we'll talk. The Bastion. It's finally finished. Now, there's something I want you to see. Welcome to the heart of the Bastion. I ain't one for long goodbyes, so here's the deal.
Zia and I figure you've done the heavy lifting, so you get to do the honors. We can tell you how to work this thing if you got any questions.
You made it. So, let's see. You can either prevent the calamity, or stick around with me and Rex. I'd hate to be in your shoes. If I could be any place I wanted, I'd stay right here. We could go anywhere in the world. Zolf tried to talk me into joining him. I tried to talk him out of it. I guess we both failed. When I finally found my people, I told them we could help. They just took me for a traitor. Glad you showed up.
Hey, kid. You can undo the calamity here and now. Go on, kid. And before I forget, thank you. Always wondered what the motherland was like. Not that it matters anymore. Zolf only brought more ruin to the Ura. No wonder they didn't take kindly to him. You've got one thing left to do, so you hang on to that badge. Besides, you earned it. Don't let anything you've done get to you. You can save all those creatures here and now.
Initiate the evacuation.
Oh, mother. And here I figured you'd had enough of me by now. You could have undone the calamity itself. But instead you want to stay. In a world like this.
Yep.
I gotta admit, kid, I ain't yet put much thought in that idea. But carrying on with you here. We can't go back no more. But I suppose we could go wherever we please. And if anyone's left out there, I sure would like to see the look on their faces when we dock this thing right on that doorstep. Getting ahead of myself, though. I'm gonna need a first mate. What do you say?
Hell yeah. So, that is Bastion. I believe that ending is the most definitive ending, because the other one, you just go back, and it all just can happen again. So, yeah. I love this game so much. So, thank you for watching with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It is one of my favorite stories, and very phenomenal. So, remember to be excellent to each other, be excellent to yourselves, and I hope to see you in the next one.